Excellent. So for those of us who are joining me for the first time, you've not been on my call before, you've not heard me speak about copywriting and marketing before, I always like to share my background. I'm going to share my background in like 4 slides so you know where I'm coming from and you understand what gives me the authority to talk on a subject like this. Okay. So for those of you who are just joining me for the first time, you've not heard me speak before, this is my story. So I launched into freelance copywriting as a fourth-year pharmacy student in 2014. That's about a decade ago. And over that time, I have worked with almost 2,000 private clients in different industries across the globe. In 2020, I founded Elite Food, which is a copywriting agency. And also I started my training institute, that's Crush Copywriting, where I train people to become copywriters and also to advance their own careers with the persuasion scale. In that time, I have mentored and trained over 700 students in that time. I currently live in Great Britain. I'm a teacher because I love teaching. I love impacting people. I'm a pharmacist. I'm licensed both in Nigeria and the UK. But I love to teach. And I recently got married to my best friend. Okay. This is my story. I like to share this all the time. And that's because I want people to understand the place of process. I want people to understand that you can't just start the writing career today and then start making millions of dollars tomorrow or those big numbers that we mentioned. It's a process. It takes time. And that you have to value the place of humble beginnings. No matter who you are, nobody becomes great in a day or overnight. There is a process. So this is my process. I was a fourth-year student when I learned about copywriting, and that's where I started from. And that's been my final year when I started using copywriting and the skill of persuasion to advance my own life. So this is my receipt. This is my evidence that I've gone through the process. And I've owned the skill and I've developed the competency to be able to teach some of these principles to you today. Right. And these are just stories of some of my students who have taken my copywriting program. Right. This is Blessed, who initially, she opened up to me that she took a WhatsApp class, but later on then found CIC and took my course, and then she's now making money from copywriting. I have students in Bangladesh, in Australia, in the US who have taken the CIC program. Okay, so that's sort of a rough background of who I am, what I do, and the results that I've generated for people. Right. So let's get back into what we have for today. How to write a copy that converts the conversion system. Right. So this is the outline, the introduction, which I've already done. You know who I am now. Why conversation copy? Why are we doing conversation copy? Principles of conversation copy. What are the key principles behind a copy that converts? What are the principles? Because I believe that if you understand the principles and then you can then go ahead and play with it, you can experiment with the principles, whether via emails, whether social media, your captions, your newsletters, your website copy, your copy for interfaces like applications, bank apps, and things like that. Once you understand the principles, then you can begin to apply. You can spread it out, right? Content ideas to building a customer avatar. How do you build your customer avatar? How do you start a conversation? What's the research process like, right? Then we're going to talk about the content ideas to keep the conversation going. When you are a marketer, for example, how do you have something to say every day? How do you not run out of content? What's the secret behind a content machine that keeps giving you fresh ideas? How do you not run out of ideas, right? These are some of the things that I'm going to show you today. 5 niches that are insanely profitable. When you become a competent conversationist, if you now understand how to write conversation copy, where should you go to? In my email, I mentioned that I don't want you to put a square peg in a round hole, right? I want you to go straight into the market that is profitable so that you can deploy your skill to make money from writing. Because at the end of the day, the reason you're on this webinar is for you to be able to develop a competency, develop a skill, and then take that skill into the marketplace and monetize it, right? So next steps, and also I'm going to introduce my CIC Academy for those people who are willing to leverage my experiences, my system in my copy school. It's fine if you don't want to come into the paid program. I am absolutely certain that you'll be able to learn some strategies that will be beneficial for you in your own copywriting journey, right? I'm going to make a one-time offer for those of us who are going to be coming to the academy, and my final words. Like I mentioned, my webinars are not usually to sell alone. As a training institute, as a training brand, I owe it to people to share my knowledge for free to a reasonable extent, right? So do not think that this webinar is just all about, oh, I want to sell to you, I want to come into my program. It takes me an average of 6 hours to prepare my content, to brainstorm, to put these things together. So if I was doing it just to come and take your money, I don't think I would invest that much time into my content, into my slides anyway. All right. So I just wanted to pay attention to the content in this webinar, and hopefully you will walk away with battle-tested strategies. All right. So yes, why conversation copy? Why conversation copy? Why should you be doing conversation copy? Can anyone, I know you can see my slides, but what would be your own idea apart from what you can see on my slides? Why would you want to, what do you know? What is unique about conversations? I don't know, just tell me something that you know that is unique about conversations. Have you had conversation with somebody recently? What was that thing about the conversation? Conversation. I want us to be part of this so that we can unpack this thing, right? If you can you unmute your mic and talk? Let's talk about this. Have you had a conversation recently with maybe your best friend, a close friend? What was unique about it? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, if I can hear you.
Okay, I think something that is conversational should be very, very engaging, such that it can easily attract or get the person soaked into the issue being discussed or being that is transparent. Let me say that reason.
Excellent. I like the fact that you said very, very engaging. So if you're having a conversation, if it is a conversation, then it has to be very engaging. I love that. So I'll just build on that. If you have more questions, you can just wait till the end. But I really like that input. Very, very engaging. Very, very engaging. Why conversation? Very, very engaging. All right. So why conversation, and why do you need to recommend conversion copywriting to your clients? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to do that? The first thing is because it is more human. Now, I keep telling people that the whole AI wave, ChatGPT, is going to open up a fresh, in fact, it's already happening. I've already seen clients saying, I don't want AI copy, I don't want bots and things like that. People can spot copy that you write with AI, right? So we bot and things like that. People want to connect. They want that human appeal, right? So conversation copy is that gateway in a world where everybody is sounding like robots, right? Conversation copy will help you stand out. So it is more human. It is more human. So let me ask you a funny question. How many of you have written this exam, IELTS? If you've written that exam, you've sat that exam, can you let me know in the chat? You know about IELTS, the English exam. Who has written that exam? That there has to be somebody who has written that exam on this call. The IELTS exam, quickly. I just want to explain something once, right? If you know about that exam, the IELTS exam, the English exam has two parts. Part one, which is the informal part, and then the part two, which is the formal part, right? So the part one is usually, or maybe write a letter to your friend, write a letter to your friend in Canada, asking them about the opportunities available for you in their country. That's informal letter. And then maybe the part two of the assessment will be something scientific where you can use high-level language. And I tell you the reason why most people struggle with IELTS, especially the writing component, is because they don't understand that in your part one, what you need to be doing is having a conversation. I tell you, if you're struggling with that exam, if you learn how to write conversation copy, that can help you to smash in your IELTS. And that's just by the way. So they ask you to write to your friend in Canada, and you cannot start your letter by saying, I, Ayokunle Oyeyemi. If you're my friend, I cannot be addressing you with your full name. I can't say, I, Ayokunle Oyeyemi, because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't suggest that you're my friend or you're my best friend. And if I'm starting a letter to you, I cannot start my conversation by saying that I hope this meets you well. The purpose of writing this letter to you is to, you can't talk like that because it suggests that you don't know that person. You're not friends, right? If I want to write a letter to my friend in Canada about opportunities in Canada in my profession, I'm going to start my letter this way. Or about maybe I want to ask about maybe internship or something like that. I could say, hi, Ayo. So I remember you told me about you going to Dubai. You must be in Dubai at the moment. You see, I started my conversation with so because it makes sense for me to start that way because this person is my friend. I hope you are enjoying your time in Dubai. Anyways, I wanted to ask you about career opportunities in Canada. I hope you don't mind. In my letter, that's still a conversation. And I say, as you know, Ayo, I recently just completed my internship in Nigeria about 2 months ago. I remember I told you on our call when we had blah blah. So conversation copy is more natural, is simplistic, right? It suggests that there is a connection between two people, right? The moment if you can get to a point where you understand some of these principles, which I'm still going to share, you begin to write copy that feels so easy and gets you results. Even when you're talking to your clients, you talk to them based on the facts based on the data you've been able to generate about that industry, and it feels as if they've known you for long and they can open up to you. They can hire you and put you on hire you again and again for jobs and things like that. Anyways, that's just like an example I wanted to share with you, sounding more human, right? Conversation copy is also more authentic. Conversation copy is authentic. Conversation copy is not about selling people something, but building relationships. When you write in a conversational tone, you are showing people that you are a real person who cares about them. This makes it more likely that people will trust you and do business with you. So there are two factors here. You have authenticity, and that helps you build trust so that people can do business with you. So I am sharing this slide because I want you to be able to sell to your client. I want you to be able to, when you're having a sales conversation with your clients, you need to be able to close them. So these are talking points. If you are a client is trying to hire you, these are things that you say to them over the call. Right. If you do conversation copy is you being vulnerable. You're telling your stories, your personal stories in your emails, on your website. You share something, maybe a particular fear that you have with people. You share your process, and things like that. It helps to build trust, right? And then people can do business with you because they've trusted you, right? It is more memorable. Conversation copy is sticky when people when they share their stories, their background, where they're coming from, they use humor, they use all of these things. It is more memorable. And if you're going to stand out in today's market, you need to embrace conversation copy, right? Persuasion becomes natural. In conversation, right, you break everything down. You don't say things like, you don't just get straight to the point when you're having conversation. When you're having conversation, you give them all the details, the emotions, and this is where if you're good at storytelling, or you've been writing stories, whether short stories and long stories, fiction, non-fiction, all of those things, and you're not making money with your writing, this is a very good style of copywriting that you can learn. So if you're already good at writing stories, if you now begin to do conversation copy, you go far. You can help your clients a great deal. You can sit down with your client and ask them, tell me what's your brand story, or tell me what are your fears, what are your daily struggles in this business. You can extract those data points and then transform them, use them in your communication, in conversations. Ask them, what were the challenges you faced when you started this business? Or what is the one thing that made you, maybe you're working with a client is say a relationship coach, and you ask them, why did you become a relationship coach? What was that what epiphany did you have? What was that turning point for you? What made you say, oh, I want to start coaching people. I want to help people improve their relationships. Tell me, what was that encounter? What was that pain? What was that realization? You take all those things, you can use them in stories, right? It becomes memorable. Persuasion becomes natural because you're basically saying the truth. You're having a conversation. And also the last point here is it is scalable. So if you're a marketer, if you're a digital marketer, if you're a digital entrepreneur, and you constantly communicate with your prospect, you need to be able to keep going, right? So, so if you cannot do conversation copy, you're going to burn out, especially if you're a marketer. You need to keep going. You need to keep saying the same thing in different ways. You need to be able to say one thing in 1 million ways, right? And the only way you can achieve that is through conversation copy, right? If you just write today, you write like the way traditional marketers write their stuff, you're gonna get burnt out, right? So you want to embrace conversation copy so that you can create scalable content for your business or for your client's business, right? So this is why we are doing conversation copy. If you understand all of these things, you can package it, use it in your sales conversation, close more clients, and help them with their copy requirements. Okay, right. So principles of conversation copy. This is where the meat of this class is. The principles. Like I mentioned to you, once you understand the principles, then it is easier for you to play around with these things and experiment as you like, and then help your clients, help your own business. So this is where I really want you to pay attention to these principles. So the first principle in conversion copywriting is speak to your audience, not at your audience. So there is a difference between speaking to your audience and speaking at your audience. For you to drive conversion, for you to drive engagement, for you to drive that emotional connection with your audience, you need to speak to them. So there's something in here. To do that, you need to speak to them in a way that resonates with them. You can't talk to people in the way that you like, right? You need to talk to them in a way that resonates with them. And you have to use their language and understand their interest. You see that line, use their language and understand their interest. Although I have put some examples in here, in my second principle, I'm going to stress more on using their language and understand their interest better. So the first example says, our support team is available 24/7. Contact us now. That is speaking at your audience. Although people use these things in marketing, you see them on websites, on marketing materials, but they're not as effective as saying that, how can we assist you today? Our support team is here around the clock to help with any questions or concerns you might have. Now, if you put yourself in that position where you're using a service and they say one of these sentences to you, how would you feel? So it's all about how I feel. I'm trying to ring a business, and they just write in there, our support team is available 24/7. Contact us now. And then someone says, how can we assist you today? Our support team is here around the clock to help you with any questions or concerns you may have. I feel more confident. I feel like I matter to the brand. I feel like, yes, I can wait. I can talk to these people, right? So that's the difference. A lot of people may not understand the nuances between the traditional copy and conversation copy. And that's why I've put this example so that you can really get it. I want you to get it. I want you to get the difference between a traditional copy and a conversation copy. Now look at the second example. It says, book your vacation today. Yes, it makes sense. You can actually say that, right? But this is the in thing now. Conversation copy is the in thing, right? And you need to learn how to move those traditional messages into conversation copy. So book your vacation today might be dreaming of your next adventure. Share your travel interest and we will create a customized itinerary just for you. That you can, by changing that messaging, you can drive conversions, right? The third example says, donate now to support our cause. Then for conversation copy, you can say every contribution counts. How would you like to make a difference today? Your support can help us make a positive impact. So this is one principle. So what I want you to do is you can take some notes, right? Look at the transitioning, right? Look at the examples, the speaking at and the speaking to. And when you write your own copy and you feel like, I want to make this more conversational, look at these examples and see what we've done with them and see how can I transform what I've written and make it more conversational. That's how you apply these things. These webinars are not just for you to come and then have knowledge, head knowledge of conversation copy. No, you're supposed to be able to look at what you write, look at some of these examples, and then say, I cannot tweak what I've written to be more conversational, right? So that's that about speaking to your audience and not at your audience, right? The second point in here, which is really, really very, very important. In fact, this is where the thing is building a customer avatar. If you don't understand your client's desires, you can't have a conversation with them. If you don't know me, you can't have a conversation with me, right? You can't. Maybe you can have a conversation with me, but you cannot really have a deep conversation with me. You need to have some background. Now, the only reason you're able to have good conversations, say with your best friend, is because you have so much information about them. You know what they ate last night. You know where they went last weekend. So you can call them and be on the call for 2 hours because there's just so much to talk about because you know them. Now, in marketing, that is difficult. You don't know these people. You've spent hours, you've spent days, years creating a product, right? And then you want to market that product, you want to sell that product. And then someone tells you, I do conversational copy now. Okay, what conversation? What conversation am I going to have with them? That's the question. So I can just come here and tell you do conversation copy, but what conversation? What am I telling them? Right. This is where customer avatar comes in. This is where you need to research your customers. So customer avatar is just like a representation of a market. So let's say, for example, you want to appeal to female entrepreneurs. You have a product that would help female entrepreneurs make more money. You have a product that will help female entrepreneurs get more visibility. Now, that's your market. Now, your customer avatar is going to be based on one person in that market, which is a typical female entrepreneur. So it means that whatever you can extract about that one entity, one person, that female entrepreneur will apply to everybody in your market. That's the understanding of building customer avatar. Now, if you just go online and say customer avatar template, you find loads online, PDF materials online with loads of questions, right? Right. But I've just extracted the most important questions, especially if you're just writing copy. If you're doing digital marketing, you're doing ad buying, Facebook ads, Google ads, and things like that, ads placement, you might need to do more research in terms of demographics, online behavior, and things like that to be able to place your ads in the right place and target the right interest. But for copywriting, for conversation copy, you need to be able to answer these questions. Because if you are going to have conversation with people and get them to buy or go on a paid drive traffic, you need to know about them, right? So you have what are their biggest frustrations. So somebody who is a female entrepreneur, you want to target them with your product. What keeps them awake at night? What are they thinking about? What's their frustration? And the one key frustration might be that, oh, this person, it's the same thing as customer persona, right? It's the same thing as customer persona. So this person, they have good product. This female entrepreneur, they have good product, they have passion for what they're doing, but at the same time, they can't just put their messaging together. They don't know where to start. They don't know whether to start with IG or emails or ads and things like that. You need to extract those frustrations. And you're not just extracting it, head knowledge. You need to take notes and extract this information, extract as much as you can, right? What are their biggest fears, right? They're not sure, they're afraid that they're not going to max their potential. They're afraid that they have a wonderful product and nobody's going to see that product. They're afraid that people are going to call them failure, right? They feel like they're going to be devastated. They're going to feel, and just want to get more information about them. What are their biggest dreams? Because when you're writing your copy, for those of us who are already copywriters, there is a concept of big idea, right? Big idea or the domino idea, right? So if you know somebody's biggest dreams, if you know what their biggest dreams are, you can use those information to craft your big idea, to create your domino idea, right? So the domino idea, the biggest dream for probably somebody who wants to learn copywriting is they want to earn up to 7 figures, they want to make a lot of money, they want to go on vacation, they want to travel abroad, they want to do stuff, maybe invest in their education. Those are like big dreams for an average person who wants to learn copywriting. So those information, those data points, you can use them in your copy, right? And it applies to all the industries really. So you extract this information. What are their biggest objections? Right. This is where for marketers on this call, this is where your work starts. The selling process starts when you start tackling people's objections. Because no matter how good your product, I keep saying it, no matter how good your product is, people have objections. Right. No matter how good, no matter how fantastic your offer is, people are going to have objections. And it's just very important for anybody who's going to make money online, who's going to sell stuff online, who's going to build a brand, to understand that the game is addressing objections, right? So if you're going to work with your clients, maybe you're going to write their emails for them. If you do, they might not even know. If you do your customer avatar, you might help them extract the objections of the client. Now, for female entrepreneurs who want to gain more visibility, they would have objections. It could be that they've bought a LinkedIn program before where the person told them they're going to learn LinkedIn visibility and they didn't get any result. Now, you have one badass product that can actually help them, whether you like it or not, you are faced with that objection. There is that objection that you need to overcome in your sales copy, in your marketing message. You need to be able to overcome that objection. It's not like they hate you, but it's what it is, right? So there are more objections that you need to extract from this avatar. The more objections you can uncover, the more powerful your marketing message is going to be, the more informed your marketing message is going to be, the more laser focused your copy is going to be. I'm spending time on this customer avatar because that is the engine, this is your marketing engine. Because if you're going to have conversation with people that you've not met before, with strangers online, this is where you gather your information. You don't know them from Adams. So if you're writing copy to them over emails, over website copy, sales pages, landing pages, you need to do your assignment here to get the relevant information to use in your conversation copy. What are their buying triggers? What triggers them? What will make them buy? What will make them get interested in your product? What is that one thing that once you knock off, they're going to say, yes, take my money, I want your program, and things like that. Now, this customer avatar is a 1-hour class in the CIC Academy. It's a full class where we actually did a customer profiling for a product, for a market, and we went into details on how to do all of these things, including your Facebook targeting, the behavioral research and all that. So if you come into the program at the end of the day, you're going to see how we conduct in-depth customer avatar, which you can use for your own business. You can sell it as a service to people online, to digital marketers who don't know what they're doing. You can sell the service to them to get more clients. Anyways, to round up, you can then build a before and after profile using the information gathered in your exercise. What do I mean by before and after? If you have a product, you need to be able to write a journey for that product. I'm giving you this background because one of the things that would help you as a copywriter to make a lot of money is when you are a consultant. You're not just a copywriter, you're not just an order taker. You're a consultant in the sense that you know what works, you know how things are done, you know what works in the digital marketing space. You have authority in that space because you know how these things are done. So once you do your customer avatar, you then do your before and after. Where is my client, this female entrepreneur, before they met me? Where are they? So you write it down. Or before they met me, they've tried LinkedIn program from one vendor, they got no results. They're frustrated. They are in a 9-to-5 job and they're struggling to catch up with some of these things. You have objections, and then you say, oh, after taking my program, they're now able to gain more visibility through XYZ because I have designed my program to have this feature. They are able to stay consistent on the program and things like that. So you take all of the information, all of the data that you've gathered in your customer avatar process, right? And you transform that information into a bridge, right? If you're able to create that bridge, then you can use all of that in your copy. We don't manufacture these things that we say in copywriting. We don't manufacture them. We don't steal them. We just take do in-depth research, understand what is going on in the minds of your customers, and then use that information in your copy. One of the things that you can also do is to put yourself in the shoes of your customers, right? If you're selling a weight loss product, you want to put yourself in the shoes of your customers. How am I going to feel if one of the examples that we used, I mean, you got married and your husband likes you the way you were, and all of a sudden, because maybe you gave birth and after giving birth, you added some weight, and your husband no longer does certain things that he used to do anymore, you're worried, like, what's going on here, right? If you were in that position, how would you feel? So these are the kind of emotions that you want to extract. If you're able to extract these emotions, you can turn them around and use them in your marketing copy to have conversations with people. And then by so doing, they're able to get interested in your product. Now, this background message, this whole thing is just for you to understand how these things work and piece them all together. Conversation copy is not just, taking your pen and start writing. There are things that you need to do before you start having conversations with people. If not, you're going to miss with your messaging. All right. So another principle that you want to do is conversational tone. Now, I try not to just say use a conversational tone because it doesn't make any sense if I say use a conversational tone. So I'm going to give you examples here. So what we want to do is you want to write in a way that feels like you're talking to a friend. Conversational tone. Use contractions, informal language, and personal pronouns. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, this is where you need to be very careful. You can't say because you want to write conversational copy and your copy is disorganized, or you're playing around too much, or you're just writing stuff, your paragraphing is poor, you're not formatting your copy very well, or because of the conversation copy, you just write things, random things. No, it has to make sense. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying break some grammar rules, but don't break all the rules. Don't make it look tacky, right? Right. It has to be easy to read, and people need to understand what you're saying. Now, this is very important. Avoid using jargon or technical language that your audience may not be familiar with. So this is why I said, do your customer avatar. If you are talking to people who are knowledgeable about the industry, people who are knowledgeable about the market, you cannot oversimplify. So for example, if I want to talk to a doctor, I can't talk to a doctor and be explaining the things that they already knew from medicine school, right? From school of medicine. I can't be talking like that. I can't be saying over-explaining concept, right? If I'm going to, what example can I use now? Okay, I can't, if I want to, I can say to a doctor that this patient is anemic and they will understand it. I don't have to explain what anemia is to a doctor, because a doctor is supposed to understand what anemia is by just saying this patient is anemic, right? Full stop. So you need to understand the audience that you're talking to before you can use this rule. Yes, should be conversational, but you cannot over-explain to a particular type of market. So you really have to be careful with this advice, right? So in conversation copy, everyday language that you can use, I've put some of them. I use most of these phrases in my marketing communication. You, so, and, because, but, or, just, yet, still, in fact, you see, besides, what is more. That being said, on the other hand, like, at the same time, these are everyday language that makes your conversation, that makes your copy easy to read, right? For those of you in the CIC program, you already learned about FK score, right? The different grades at which you can write at third grade, at fourth grade, fifth grade, seventh grade. And research has shown that if you take any copy from grade 7, right, to grade 3, you can increase conversion. Just by taking an existing copy and taking it from 7 to 3, you can increase conversion, right? It's proven. Marketers do it, right? So I'll give you examples here of how you can use everyday language. So example, using a weight loss product, the word "and." So this is where you break grammar rules, yeah? Because when you're talking to your friend, you cannot be too formal. You can't be saying, let me start my sentence, or let me start by saying, or things like that, right? You can just go ahead and say, and remember, the English teachers will say, why you starting your sentence with "and," but this is how normal people talk. on a day-to-day basis, right? And remember, our product is backed by money back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. That's an example of a convo copy. And remember, it sort of just changes the atmosphere into, oh, and remember, you're talking to somebody that you know, right? Another word here is because. You can start your conversation with because. You can start the next paragraph with because there's something about because. It has to do with our human brain, how we process words. When I say because, your brain is already expecting a fact. Whether that statement is not really factual, because you've used because, it does something to the brain. It's about the limbic system in the human brain. You start to think that this thing is verified. This thing is fact because of that word, because. Now, because you can if you pay attention, you can see what that word is doing to your brain. Because we believe that everyone deserves to feel confident and healthy in their own skin. Right. We have this brand, or we sell this product, we promote this product. If you're an affiliate marketer, for example, I promote this product, we promote this product because we believe, because, right? These are terms, words that you can use to make your copy more conversational. So, yes, so I mean that's how you talk to your friend. So yesterday I was talking about this. So I'm at the airport and my friend just conversation. So I want to give you a gist. I won't be saying today is 17th of September. I'm going to be talking to you about, you don't talk to a friend like that. So order your bottle of our weight loss product today and see the results for yourself. This phrase is another call to action that offers a potential customer a risk-free way to try the product, right? So I've just given you examples of how to use everyday language in your copy, right? Okay, so before we go ahead, is this making sense to anybody? I feel like I've said so much in the last couple of minutes. If this is making sense to you, can you let me know? I really don't like to waste people's time. If this is making sense, these principles are making sense to you, can you let me know in the chat? This is conversational copy. This is how to use everyday language, right, to drive conversions for people. It means that you can learn copywriting today, and in about 1 or 2 weeks, with adequate practice, you can position yourself as a conversation conversion copywriter, and you can pick specific niches and deploy these things and then make a lot of money. I'm telling you. All right. So this is for conversational tone. We're going to explore another principle, which is the use of storytelling. Now, storytelling is very, very crucial when it comes to conversational copywriting, conversion copywriting. Stories are very, very key. In fact, they're like the foundation, really. So telling a personal story and tying that story to an offer can help you drive conversion. Stories make your messages sticky and memorable. It's a proven way to make a lasting brand impression. So if I'm consulting for a digital brand or an online business, the first thing I'm going to ask is what is your brand story? I want to see their brand story. If you're familiar with my messaging, you already know that one thing that is you will hear about me is I started as a copywriter. That's my story. It's unique. It's my story. So I share it all the time, right? And I'm not gonna meet anybody today and say, come and buy my program. No, I'm going to tell you my story, because my story is unique. My story is genuine. My story is my identity, so to speak, right? So if I want to sell to somebody, I'm not going to come and say, oh, my copywriting school, we've trained 700 people. If I'm meeting for the first time, I won't say that to you. I may say that to you down the line. Maybe we've spoken a couple of times. You now trust me that I'm real, I'm not fake. I can tell you about those things. But if you're just starting your marketing conversation, stories are very powerful. And one of the reasons why a lot of online businesses are struggling is because there's no story, right? There's no story, right? There's no brand story, and they're struggling. And the moment you don't get your brand story right, you will struggle with marketing because you don't have a foundation to build your marketing messages on. So if you see, you can consult and say, oh, can I see your brand story? And they're like, what's a brand story? Like, why did you start this business? So a lot of people might struggle with answering that question if it is a Me Too business. A Me Too business is a business that everybody is doing. If you start a water production company today, pure water business today, so to speak, you're not doing something new. It's a Me Too business. In Yoruba, èmi náà ń ṣe, èmi náà ní business tèmi, right? Me Too business, Me Too business, Me Too, I'm doing it. That's a Me Too business. People might struggle to have a brand story for that Me Too business. If you have a Me Too business, or if you know anybody who has a Me Too business, what you can tell them is they can look into their process. So if you have a restaurant, I have my restaurant, you have your own restaurant. Yes, it's a Me Too business, but I can look into my process. It could be how I make my own food. It could be the environment in which I make my own food. There has to be something unique about your own restaurant. There has to be something, there has to be an epiphany, there has to be something that made you, no, I'm going to start my own restaurant. So that's your brand story. It could be that maybe you traveled and you were in one restaurant, you were really hungry, you were stranded, and you had to make a restaurant and you didn't like the experience. That can be your brand story. Of course, you may not mention the restaurant where you had bad experience, but that can form your brand story and you can use that to connect with potential customers, right? So telling a personal story can help you do that. It's a proven way to make a lasting brand impression. This is like an example for somebody who wants to sell a weight loss product. So if I'm a weight loss coach, or if I sell weight loss supplements, or if I sell any weight loss product, this can be my story. I used to be so self-conscious about my weight. I would never wear a pattern suit or go to the beach. All right. That could be your story. And like I said, conversational copy can be you being vulnerable, right? Like you're literally exposing yourself, but that's how to build trust. That's how you build trust. That's how people trust you and say, I can do business with you, right? Because you're sharing things that people feel like you should be hiding. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it, right? Storytelling is also a principle in anti-marketing. Anti-marketing is you saying things that people don't even want to hear. Like people don't expect that you share that kind of a thing. You can open up on your struggles 17 years ago. 17 years ago, or today you can start your subject line with today, 17 years ago. You want to tell a story. People want to open up like, okay, because it's unique, it's new. People these days, you see emails, they start with I. Every day, I Opoyemi, hello Opoyemi. I hope your Monday is going out. Sign up to newsletters from brands. You see communication, the same style, the same way, the same intro, every Monday, every Tuesday, even reputable brands, right? But a way to stand out is storytelling. A way to stand out is to be vulnerable, is to say the way it is. You had a terrible day in your brand, you can write about it. You can use storytelling to form an emotional connection with your clients. This what I'm sharing with you today so valuable that you can use this information to consult with people. It's beyond just writing copy and then getting paid. You can do a lot more with this knowledge base, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on storytelling because I feel like it's fairly straightforward. Now, another principle here is be informative. And I want to be really careful with the word informative. When you say informative, it doesn't mean that you want to give them so much information or load them with information. You want to give them enough information to make an informed decision. The game of copywriting, marketing, persuasion is largely suggesting. Yes, it's compelling. Yes, you want them to buy the product. Yes, you want them to do this. But what you are doing is you are suggesting. You are suggesting to them. You are doing the emotional marketing. You're also giving them the facts and figures. That look, this is it. And then you come, you share social proof. Then you come, you share testimonials. These things are suggestive. You're suggesting to them. You want them to make that decision by themselves, right? So in your conversation copywriting, you want to sell to people's emotions first. If you're a CIC student here, you already know this, that people don't buy with logic. And the human brain has not evolved for years now. The human brain is still the same component, the same wiring. People buy with emotions. So when you're selling, you sell to emotions first, and then you then help people justify the emotional decision. And that's why we had things like statistics, data, percentages, facts and figures, testimonials. Oh, somebody has done this, you can do it, to help them justify the emotional decision. But people are not buying solely because of that logical information. Nobody is buying a Benz because it has one something kilometer, or has this tank capacity, or no. Nobody is really buying Benz for that reason. People are buying Benz. People who buy Benz are buying Benz for comfort, for class, for social status, and things like that. Those are the emotions that you appeal. If you're a CIC student, you know about the 7 deadly sins, right? Those are the emotions that you appeal to these emotions in your copy, so that you can help people. People can then get to a point where you need to justify the emotions for them. So when you're writing your conversation copy, you want to not be presenting facts first. You want to appeal to people's emotions and then give them facts and figures to help them justify their emotion, right? So you're selling a TV, a big TV to people. You are not selling inches, or what you are selling is that immersive experience. That Friday night with family, they have popcorn, you're watching your favorite Netflix movie. That's what you're selling, right? So you sell those things and then give them facts and figures. By the way, you can introduce that language at some point in your copy. By the way, this TV has so inches, because you've already done the emotional selling in the first part of your copy, maybe in your lead intro. And when you're transitioning, you transition into, by the way. That's a way to transition in some direct response copy or instant reaction copy. You can transition that way, which is also part of conversation copywriting. By the way, this TV has so inches and blah 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 blah, right? So that's one principle. Now, also going to share with you the use of analogies. Now, the use of analogies is something that I really like. Trust me, not many people are using this strategy in their copy. It's something that can add color to your copy, can also help your audience have a mental image of what you are talking about. They're so powerful, but also they can be very dicey. You can't use them too much. You can't use them too much in your copy. You can't, you have to be careful to make sure that your analogies are factual. It has to make sense. If they don't make sense, you're better not using them. It's better for you not to use analogies than use a wrong analogy, right? It's going to be terrible marketing if you use the wrong analogy in your messaging, right? So an example here is, our software is like a GPS for your business. It helps you to map out your goals and stay on track. Now, when you read that sentence, what comes to your mind is actually a GPS. You actually literally see a map or Google Map in your head. There is that mental image, right? And all of these mechanics, right, they work together to create a sticky brand messaging. So somebody says, our software is like a GPS to your business. It helps you to map out your goals and stay on track. And for you as a person, you remember that the day that you almost got lost, maybe your first time driving, it was Google Map that saved you. That sentence, that email goes into your subconscious, straight up, boom. It goes into your subconscious because somebody has used an analogy that triggered an image in your head, right? And when you think about getting a software like that, the first brand that comes to your mind is this particular person who has used this analogy. Why? You won't even know that thing is happening in your mind because it has gone into your subconscious. Analogies can help you achieve that. Starting a new business is like riding a bike. It is scary at first, but once you get the hang of it, it is a lot of fun. Now, this is a very interesting analogy because it is relatable. And you probably knew when you tried to learn how to ride a bike. I remember the first time I tried to ride a bike, and I fell and I had these bruises and all that. I can remember. So if somebody used this analogy, right, in their communication, it triggers that experience, right? So there is a connection in the subconscious. They've been able to link their brand with an event in my life. It's like they've already built, they will say in marketing, they will say build a real estate in the mind of your audience. They've already built, maybe they've already bought the land in my mind straight up, just by using that analogy. Right? These are things that when you see on the outside, when they deploy these things, you may not see these things. So the essence of this webinar is to help you see beyond these marketing messages. You go online, you can see a copy and you can analyze and you can, this is analogy. This is this technique. This is this mechanism. That's what I want you to. I want you to get into that point where you can see these techniques in action, right? Our product is like a magic bullet for your weight loss goals. It helps you to lose weight quickly and easily. These analogies, like I said, they're really powerful. You don't even need more than one in every 300 words copy. That's my prescription. I prescribe that you don't use more than one analogy in every 300 words copy or in every 500 words copy. Because when you use them too much, they lose that potency. Your first paragraph analogy, next paragraph analogy, third paragraph, no. Don't do it like that. Okay. So yes. So any questions at this point? I think these are the core principles for conversation, conversion, copywriting. Any questions at this point? If you have any questions at this point, I'd like to take them before I then round up the other part of this conversation. Right. Okay. If you have any questions, can you put them in the chat so that we can tackle them quickly? Okay. So how do you keep the conversation going? How do you keep the conversation going? The simplest way is to keep learning more about your customers, right? This is just a very simple answer. If you want to keep your conversation going, then you need to go back to your customer avatar. This is the marketing engine, right? This is where all the work is. So the more facts, the more data the more information you can extract from this exercise, the more you can play the long game in your marketing, right? And all this information, right, you can use them to benefit, to help your client, or use them in your own business. Okay. All right. So profitable niches that you can go into for conversation copy, right? So there are only 3 ways to niche down, really. You have niche down by copy format. If you're very good at website copy, you can call yourself the best. You can be the best website copywriter in the world, right? I shared one example in my in the last webinar. I said I saw a brand here, Website Chick. I think websitechick.co.uk. They only build website for females. That's the niche, and it's just website. They build your website, they write your copy, and the offer is selling like hotcake. So you don't even need so much to create value. You don't need so much to make money online. Yes, we teach you multiple copy formats in the CIC, but you don't need so much to make money. The moment you can add value to a market, you can make money, right? So, and that's it. And people are dialing down on one single solution to generate revenue. You can niche down by industry. You can be a copywriter. You can be a SaaS copywriter. That's software as a service, right? You can help people explain their product features in a way that is easily understood, right? All of these tech products coming out, right? People need to explain those things. Blockchain technology, right? You can be a blockchain copywriter. If you like blockchain, if you like all this tech stuff, you can actually niche down in that space. You can write white papers and stuff like that by industry. You can also niche down by copy plus industry. You can be an email copywriter for coaches. You can be an email copywriter for weight loss products and things like that. You can niche down by copy plus industry. And I think that's the best way to niche down. When you niche down by copy plus industry, then your marketing is is targeted pretty much, right? Copy format where convo copy shine. For convo copy, you can go into one or more of these copy format, email newsletters, that's email copy. Every serious business uses email marketing. I mean, if you brand yourself as an email marketer today, email copywriter today, and you pitch clients in the right way, I can assure you that you can get clients like today, this evening. Because the reason why email marketing, email newsletters, or email copy are evergreen, no matter what is happening in the market, in the industry, no matter what is happening, email copywriters, email marketers, they always have work to do. And that's because emails afford businesses the opportunity for repeat contact. It helps you to nurture people, build relationship with people. People can know your business more when you do email marketing. That's the only reason we do email marketing. And that's the only reason I do email marketing. I try to do social media marketing sparingly because I feel like the algorithm is in charge. I don't have control. So why invest so much hours into that? It works for some people. Some people have been able to hack it, but the reason I do email marketing is because I have the highest return on time invested on email marketing. I can tell you, if somebody wants to pitch me, the only way anybody can pitch me right now and get me to hire them is if they can help me one way or the other, right, to improve my email marketing game, right, at the moment. And that's why email copywriters, email marketers, people who are very good with conversation copy, they always have more work that they can handle in this industry. I promise you, this is not a joke. This is real stuff. I've had online business owners, right, come to me to look for copywriters who can write conversation copy. And that's one of the things that actually informed this webinar title that I'm going to teach this thing live to help people see that you don't have to do so many things to earn money online. So more light on industry and copy, right? That's I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to show you how you do that. Right. So for profitable niches, health and wellness, that means you can write email copy, right, for health and wellness industry, for business owners in health and wellness, your weight loss, your gym, your fitness, all those things in health and wellness. Health and wellness, I beg your pardon, health and wellness is an industry, right? So that industry, you have micro niches under that you can go into. Education is a big, broad industry. You can go into different part of education, right? Relationships, different part of relationship industry, coaching, self-help, all those things, travel, self-improvement, business and marketing. Business and marketing is the broader term for all of these things. Like, it captures all the industry, really. You can do conversation copy to help any business, really, to help them succeed, to help them get more business. Okay. So niching down that way, you can sell your competency to get clients in that space, right? So I didn't make notes on content ideas to keep the conversation going. That's something that you have to do based on your target audience, right? You have to do more customer avatar profiling. This is where you get your content ideas from. The more you can extract from this avatar, the more you can talk about in your messaging, right? You can also do competitors analysis for your customer avatar. What are the people in your vertical? What are they sharing? What's their messaging, and see if you can get any ideas from them. Right. So profitable niches, relationships, health and wellness, education, relationships, travel, self-improvement, business and marketing. Right. But don't forget that by rewriting a company's promotional messaging to be more conversational, you can triple its bottom line. This is really powerful. It's powerful in the sense that you can pitch, you can go into somebody's, you can sign up for a business's newsletters. You can receive maybe 2 weeks worth of their emails or their messaging, and then take one. You take one of those emails, you rewrite that email to be more conversational. You do it before and after, and you pitch the business that this is they could use this to improve their click rates, their conversions, and things like that. And you can sign up clients easily. Just by rewriting one existing copy to become conversational, you can show how valuable you are to a potential client. So it means that beyond these strategies, niche down, because once you do that, you have been able to show value, and then you can ask for money when you show value. That's the way it works. You show value, you ask for money. If you're not showing value, if you cannot demonstrate value, you haven't earned the right to ask for money. You can only ask for money when you've demonstrated value. And doing this can help you achieve that. For those of us who are pitching clients, one way to establish value right up the gate is to take a business existing promotional message. It could be email, it could be their video script, it could be anything, and make it more conversational and send it to them as an original sample. Right. Okay. So I think we're rounding up now, and we are getting to the part where I'm going to make you a one-time offer, right? So that you can get into the academy. Okay. So I'm trying to unmute people. I'm trying to mute people who are disturbing this webinar. So to speak. Okay. So next steps, learn the anatomy of a persuasive sales copy. Learn the anatomy of a persuasive sales copy, right? We've talked about all of these strategies, all of this conversation. We've talked about your mechanics, your storytelling, your conversational tone and all that. But you still need to be able to piece all of these things together. You can't just do random messaging to people. It has to make sense, right? So you have to learn your headline strategy. A basic idea is the IDA formula. Your IDA formula is like your attention. So before you write your stories, before you write your conversational copy, you need to be able to get people's attention, right? So that means you need to learn how to write good headlines for your landing pages, for your website pages. You need to be able to learn, you need to write good headlines, because if you don't draw people in, then you cannot sell to them. People need to be able to come in contact with you first before you can sell to them, right? So that's one thing that you need to learn. For those of you who are going to be doing this thing by yourself, you need to learn how to put together a cohesive copy, right? Your headline, your intro line, your body, your close, your PS, all of those things, you need to learn how to do them. Master one or more copywriting forms at a time, right? You can, for you to be able to demonstrate value in the marketplace, you need to master one or more copywriting form at a time. For example, if you want to do emails, we've got the email module in the CIC. We've got the UX copy in the CIC. We've got the website copy in the CIC skill. So you can learn these things and then offer these competencies to your clients. So you can't just go ahead and say, oh, I now know how to write conversion copy. You need to make it make sense. Build a portfolio. So you learn how to write persuasive copy. You know the anatomy, you know all the moving parts, right? You are now maybe a UX copywriter. Then build a portfolio. After building a portfolio, you can then embrace niche marketing. I tell people that the fastest way to demonstrate value and ask for money today is niche marketing. So you are not talking to everybody in your marketing. Okay. Okay. So and that's where you land your first client. Okay. All right. So are there any questions from anybody? If you have any questions, can you put them in the chat? If you have any questions, can you put them in the chat? I'm trying to figure out this person, and I've tried to mute everybody now. Okay. Now I have muted this person. So questions about conversation copywriting. Questions about conversation copywriting. I want to take questions now. For those of you who have questions about conversation copywriting, we can take questions now. Okay. So if there are no questions, I'm going to share the one-time offer just for people who want to learn about the CIC. What we do in the CIC Academy. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to take some time now to share what we do in the CIC Academy. Okay. Okay. So what do we do? Basically, we just so much distractions this evening. But I'm going to finish this webinar. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to share what we do in the CIC program for those of us who are going to be coming into the program. So the academy is pretty much where we stage reality. We basically stage the reality, what happens when you become a copywriter and when you start landing clients, what to do, how to do it, how to build your competencies. This is a proper copywriting school where we teach you all that you need to know to become a professional copywriter, right? So we have modules, different modules: website copywriting, landing page, UX copy, email marketing. There are lots of modules on there. And then we also show you how to get clients. So you learn all of these things under one roof. You learn the competencies, you learn how to get clients on LinkedIn, Upwork, Fiverr, and you have all of these videos in one place. We grade your assignments, we help you with your portfolio, basically giving you all that you need to become a copywriter that makes money, right? And this is like the summary of the pricing. If you want to learn more, you can go to this website. You can go to crushitcopywriting.com. If you want to learn more about the program, /enroll to learn more about what we do, right? You can see the elite program. The elite program is 250,000 naira, and we have all of the competencies in the elite program, right? You have all of the modules: sales copywriting, landing page, website copy, Facebook ad copywriting, with case studies, right? SEO, content writing and blogging, e-commerce, product description, and things like that in the elite program. So that the elite program captures everything that you need to become a professional copywriter, right? Land clients and deliver great work. So if you're interested in that, go to the website, or you can message my course manager on WhatsApp to learn more about the Crush It copywriting program. So I'm going to share Korede's number on here, and you can have a conversation with her on WhatsApp to learn about the packages available for you. Okay, I'll take questions after this. If you still have any questions about the webinar, I'll take more questions. So just give me a minute. Give me a minute to sell my market, because I have earned the right to sell my market on this call. Okay. Yes, so I'm going to share with you Korede's contact. You can go to that WhatsApp and have a conversation with Korede if you want to get into my copy school, where we teach you everything that you need to know, from developing your competency to getting clients that will pay you for your service. All right. That's the premium blueprint. You can see we don't have the UX copywriting accelerator course in the premium blueprint. We don't have that. We don't have the email copywriting course in the premium blueprint as well. We don't have that. So, but we have the other competencies. We also don't have code emailing, how to get clients using code emailing in the premium blueprint. Yes, and that's 150,000 or $299. For the basic blueprint, we have the basic copywriting competencies that you need to have, and then before you go into the market. So you can also pay in installments. You can pay in 2 installments at the moment. But if you're really keen to coming into the program, you want to reach out to Korede ASAP on WhatsApp to see the options available for you. If you go to WhatsApp via that number, you can have a conversation with my course manager, and they can help you decide a package to go for. All right, and that's pretty much it. For those of you who want to come in today, this is my book, The Marketing Secrets Playbook, which I published last year. It's a book where I have documented my marketing secrets, pretty much. The marketing secrets that I've used in the space of a decade to work with thousands, really, yeah, of copywriting clients, right? And this book has all my strategies that you can borrow in your own career, right? From closing clients on Zoom to closing clients via chats, scripts, code emailing, extracting emails. All of these secrets are there. And for those of you who are going to be coming in today, you can buy this book, right, and use it alongside your training. So the elite package, I'm only giving this book for free when you buy the elite package, and then you get additional 50,000 naira off the elite package. So it means that if you contact Korede today, this evening, you can pay 200K for the elite program and get a copy of this book delivered to your address for free without paying for the book, right? And then you get 50,000 naira off as well if you come in today and then buy the elite program. Anyways, I want to show you that if you come into my program, you're going to get more than enough value for your investment. Okay, so I'm going to now take questions. If there are more questions, I'm going to take questions, and then we can wrap up this class because I'm actually really, really tired today. Okay, any questions from anyone? There's one question here. Can one combine present job with can one do copywriting with present job? I think it's possible. I just think that it depends on your priorities. I believe that nothing is impossible. That's my belief. It depends on what you're prioritizing, your priorities, right? So obviously you can do that. You can combine copywriting with your 9-to-5 job. All you need to do is have a routine and follow that routine strictly. Yeah. And we have a platform where you can actually a platform where you can take the course at your own pace. Basically, you can carry on from where you left, and then you have 1 year of access to the training modules. Okay. Where is the best place to pitch LinkedIn, Twitter? So when it comes to pitching, I always recommend direct emailing, which is you extracting the email of a potential client. There are tools and there are strategies. There are also strategies to determine whether this lead is going to be responsive, to predict the probability that they're going to open your email, respond back to you. Okay. So for LinkedIn and direct extraction, I don't use Twitter, so I really don't know. I don't know what works on Twitter, to be honest. But for LinkedIn and direct emailing, I can advise you on that. Can one do copywriting advanced? How can we come up with content I want to use? So when you say content I want to use, I need to understand in what context. When you say content that you want to use, are you referring to content that you want to use for your marketing? Right. So that will help me understand how to answer your question. If you research well on the customer avatars, you will have more than enough content. Excellent, Matthew. Thank you for that response. Actually, yes, that's the perfect answer. If you do your customer avatar research very well, you would have content pillars that you can use. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all the questions really. Any other question from anybody, or if you want to unmute your mic and say something about this class, we can do that quickly. If there is anything, anybody want to, any contribution, any addition, any observation, anything at all, you can let me know right on this call, and then we can call it a day.
Hello?
Yeah, who's that?
Kingsley.
Excellent. Hi, Kingsley.
Good. Must say that's a wonderful class, although I joined late because of some certain things. But I just wanted to ask, if one is serious with this, how quick can one start landing a copywriting job if you are serious about it?
Right. So if you're serious about this, you can actually land a client as early as a week. Yes. Yes, because what you need to land the client is competency and value. Okay, if I can help this business, if I have this skill, if I understand this thing, then I can go ahead and say I can help you, and then show them that I can help them. Portfolio. In my last webinar class, I talked about specs. I talked about minimum viable marketing. If I want to show that I can write emails for your business, all I need to do, if I want to show that I can write emails for your business, all I need to do is find a writing assignment in another industry or a similar industry, and then do that task as if I was hired. And if I do it, I can take expert opinions. I can share it with my instructor. I can share with my friends who are copywriters to give me ideas. Oh, you need to improve your headline. Okay, you need to improve your intro copy. Oh, your transition is a bit poor. Can you use a power word in this place to make your messaging more impactful? Oh, can you make this more conversational? Can you change this? And when I get out those inputs, I can improve my copy and I know that it's solid. And that becomes my proof of work. And then I can go on LinkedIn, for example, and use certain phrases. I teach all of that in my school. Certain phrases, and I filter the people that I want to work with. Yes, it's a game of numbers, but it means that I've already sorted out the skill problem, which is I can add value to a business. And then when I extract these emails, I can either use automation to write on LinkedIn to reach out to these people that I have already used my search to filter and then pitch them. Or I can use certain tools. Some of those tools might be paid, but they can help you get the emails of decision makers. So like I used to say that info@elitefood.com is different from olajiri@elitefood.com. If you send an email to info@elitefood.com, I may not see it. I mean, somebody on my team might see it, but there are tools that can help you find the decision maker in any business, right? If you use that, and you find olaji@elitefood.com, if you send an email to olaji@elitefood.com, it goes straight into my inbox. You can pitch me, then I see it, right? So these are competencies, these are skills that will move you closer to getting your first client. So somebody who finishes from this class today, let's assume that you finish from this class today, let's say you sign up for the CIC course, and then you take a module on email copywriting. That's the only module you took seriously in my program. And then you build a portfolio. You have writing assignments, you have email sequences that you've written, samples, everything. And then you go to LinkedIn and you extract enough emails and you pitch 10 emails daily. 10 emails daily, right? For the next 14 days, you will land a client. And I'm telling you, I know that people are sometimes skeptical about, oh, will I land client? Will I land client? But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's just what it is. You have to do the work to land the client, and we give you all that you need to do that work effectively, maybe in less time than an average person would do it. If you don't have the knowledge that there are emails that you cannot reach out to, you will waste more time. So what we do is to help you reduce that time to get your first client. We give you the knowledge base to get your first client. I don't know if that makes sense, right? So whether you learn copywriting, whether you learn graphics design, if you like, go learn whatever, you still have to learn how to land clients. You can be the best programmer in the world. You still need to land your first client. And all the competencies that you need to land that first client, we've already built it into the CIC. And all that you need to do is to follow those steps rigorously and make an upfront investment to landing your first client. An upfront investment is building your portfolio. An upfront investment is you doing a writing task that nobody has sent you, but because you want people to demonstrate your value to land the client. Those activities, they are called upfront investment. So you do an upfront investment, you land your first client, they pay you, and then they write you a testimonial, and then your next client, it becomes a lot easier to then land your subsequent client. That's the way it works. So, but you have to believe that you can make this work for yourself. This can work for you. You can land clients. If you believe that, then it's easier to do the work that is required to get you to that point. I hope I've been able to answer your questions, Kingsley, in detail. Okay.
Yes, you have.
Right, excellent. I love this question. Can AI help in copywriting? Is it wrong to use AI? Now, this is a very interesting question, and we've just added, we just made a video that we're adding to CIC. It's going to be in the bonus. And what I taught in that video is how to use AI to do your research process. So in that video, I focus mainly on building your customer avatar with AI, because that is like the 80% of copy work. The 80% of copy work is the research. So AI can help you. You can use AI as your research assistant, right? So you want to find out demographics, or what are the fears of these particular market segment. You can pop that into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool and say, I want to know the fears, what keeps these people awake at night. That can help you get more data rather than you just using your head to brainstorm the fears of those people. Does that make sense? Right? Then you can then use those data in your copywriting. But if you do not understand the traditional structural framework of a copy that works, you will struggle even with AI tools. So the people who are able to use AI and maximize AI, there are people who actually understand how to write a traditional copy. Like normally, you know how to write a good copy without any assistance. So you can then program the AI with your knowledge base on copywriting to give you what you need, and then use that in your copy. But you cannot say AI should write your copy entirely. The moment AI begins to write your copy entirely, you cannot even be a conversion copywriter. It's difficult. You can't do that. So, but certainly AI can assist you in your copywriting process. Okay, but you cannot take an AI copy and deliver it to a client. You cannot rely solely on AI and say AI should write my copy for me and get paid for that. It's wrong. You can't do that. Okay, but obviously you can use AI as your research assistant, which is the focus for us at CIC in terms of AI and copywriting. Okay. Asimota is asking me so much questions. Asimota is one person that has attended my webinars, all my webinars for almost 2 years now. So she takes everything and then she takes everything and goes. So I mean, there are a lot of tools that you can use to take money from foreign clients. There are loads of them. The common one is Payoneer, that you can use to receive money from your clients. If you go to Payoneer, I think there is a certain limit that you must have received, maybe via other means, maybe via freelance platforms, that you must have received in your Payoneer to be able to activate that service. That service is global payments. That global payments allows you to create maybe USD account, dollar account, and things like that. And you send it to your client and they send money to that account and it comes to your Payoneer. And you can withdraw your Payoneer to your local bank, or you can order a Payoneer card and withdraw it over ATM. So that's a simple solution to withdrawing money from getting paid by a foreign client. Okay, any other question? Any other question for today? 3 more minutes and we can. Hi, Opoyemi. Lawal.
Yeah, I was only trying to commend your effort. So we are so much appreciative. Thank you so much for being here, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much for showing up today. I really appreciate your time. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I would like to bring the class to a close. If you got value from this class, please, it helps my brand. If you go on my page, on my IG, and you drop comments about the webinar, it helps me to carry on and put in efforts to give you premium content all the time, right? And if you want to come into the program, please go on our website or reach out to Korede. You can ask questions. about our program. You can ask to talk to past students who have made it. You can ask for proof, ask for receipts, ask her for results that you've generated for your students. So we have loads of them in the academy. Our program works. And if you're really interested, we can work out installment payment for you so you can get started on your copywriting journey or marketing journey, as the case may be. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you some other time. Okay? Bye for now. Yeah.